Y'all, it's getting messy. Y'all, it's it's getting super messy. Hey guys, it's your girl Alexis, your favorite astrologer, tarot reader, and overall spiritualist, where we analyze different charts of celebrities, world leaders, world events, just so that we can analyze them and be girls and just have fun. And now today we're going to be discussing a little bit about the drama going on with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, child. Oh my god. When I tell you this movie, when I tell you the drama surrounding this movie got even more attention than the actual movie itself, y'all. It's crazy. I'm like, y'all, y'all, I I am really done. So if you're not hip to what's been going on, Blake Lively was starring in a movie called It Ends With Us. It was a really, really um, infamous book by Colleen Hoover that depicted a story by main character Lily Bloom, where she basically was describing her life as, a survivor of some sort. And Colleen Hoover, I think she even stated that a lot of her books were meant to, commemorate the stories and the strengths and tribulations that her own mother experienced, especially as it pertains to DV, and all of those matters. The main character, Lily Bloom, she really takes us through a tale of, becoming a young woman, having troubles with your father, that your father was abusive to your mother, having to, confront these themes of grief, of distraught, of anger, and how that translates into your adult relationships, right? Where she too then finds herself in a abuse uh relationship with Justin Baldoni's character Ryle. Um and it's a really, really, honestly, I read it in a book club, and we were just super unserious about the book. Like the book is so much better than the movie, and like as it always is, right? But I just feel really bad because the book was really, really good. I mean, like Colleen Hoover, she's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's not like Aristotle. Like she doesn't like write her book like Socrates, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very easy read, but just like the roller coaster that you go on reading the book. I know she has a bunch of different books like Verity and It Starts With Us, and that's the sequel to It Ends With Us, and all these different books. She's gotten a lot of critique because people were saying that she kind of romanticizes these darker themes, and just kind of glosses over and doesn't really expound upon certain really touchy subjects. um it's an easy read. Honestly, the book is pretty good. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a cute little read if you just want to like kiki with the girls. Like it's cool. It's honestly really cool. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. But basically the whole drama started was that Blake Lively was cast to be the movie, and it's crazy how she was cast because Colleen Hoover was a huge fan of Blake Lively, and Blake Lively showed interest, and then automatically she was granted so much responsibility for the production of the role and production of the whole entire movie, right? But Justin Baldoni was actually, he bought the rights to the movie and he filmed it. He basically funded the project, shot it with his production company. He had his own vision. He was a director, producer, he was actor, he played the main character Ryle, right? They were both very, very involved in the making of the film, and they both had two different perspectives and two different stories that they wanted to convey for the audience. And unfortunately, it just really mess with the integrity of the film. Like this film could have been you know what I watched the movie and I was like, this could have been like a mini series. Like this could have been a mini series on Netflix. Like I feel like so much happened in the book that they just skipped over like so many important details in the movie. And I think they did it because they had two different directions, right? in one instance, Blake Lively really wanted to emphasize Lily's strength and her resilience and like her being independent and all these things, right? But then Justin really wanted to get down to like the core root of the story of like, no, she went through some real shit, like, and really wanted to touch on like toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted to just, he's an Aquarius, like, girl. He was like, girl, let's like psychologize this book into a movie. Like, stop. And they just had two different directions. Even with the rollout of the movie. The rollout of the movie, it was just very much like blank surface, like, you know, just, oh my God, go see the movie with your friends, like wear your floral, you know what I'm saying? And then there's no um identification that this movie is about DV. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like this, she tried to roll out the movie and have like this, you know, Barbie moment where it's like, oh my God, this is about girl power. This is about women getting together and women embracing strength and all these things. And it's just like, yes, those are the things, but like also give people a trigger warning to you know, be aware of what they're about to walk into. Like, girl, me and the girl's about to pull up to this AMC and then you over here getting pushed down the stair. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me know. I don't want to just be completely thrown out the water, but yeah. And unfortunately, this led to the failure of the film because it went straight to Netflix afterwards. I didn't see anybody having any good reviews or just like, oh yeah, like per like other than the people that they paid off. I didn't see any I didn't see any positive reviews. Like, girl, the Reddit threads are going crazy right now. And following the film's release, Blake Lively actually sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. Oh, can I say that on YouTube? For sexual harassment, um, alleging that he was unprofessional, that made um, advances at her, stating that, you know, he was talking about her body and he you know, facilitated scenes where she was naked for periods of time in front of, you know, his own personal entourage, his own personal team and staff for, you know, an intended amount of time that she was not comfortable with. Like, different, she was just saying that it was a hostile work environment to be in, and she sued him. And there have just been so many things. There's been so many developments. Like, you know, I don't think that Justin is like particularly I don't think that he's particularly like innocent. There's nobody really innocent in this situation, right? Because they are just using their own personal vendettas and battles against each other, that they're taking it off the screen and into real life and into the courtroom. And it just sucks because I'm like, girl, y'all over here compromising this story. Y'all bitches could have just like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could have just gotten the ring and box. Like, why did y'all have to mess with the story? But I digress. I digress. But the whole reason of this video was recently. Okay, if you go on like CNN, you can watch the whole 3-minute clip. I think there's like a 10-minute clip out there of the whole thing. But recently, Justin Baldoni's team released footage from the set of It Ends With Us. And you know, within the accusal statements that Blake made against him, she was saying that he was, you know, talking in her ear, saying like, oh girl, you smell good. And she was just like, oh my God, leave me alone. Like, you're mad weird. And his team, in retaliation of her claims, they released full footage of the on the set where they are trying to refute the claims, where you see they're having a normal interaction, in character, you know, getting the footage of the films. You see like the background actors just getting footage from the set, from the scene in question where Blake is accusing him of sexually harassing her. So in retaliation, he was like, "Oh, girl, like watch this." So they presented this video, wanting to shut down the claims, and it's just been messy. It's been messy. It's been messy. And he also countersued her and her husband and her publicist $400 million in defamation. Um, it's just a really, really ghetto, messy situation. Like, will they settle it in court? Who knows? But I just had to look at their synastry because I'm like, what is tea? Like, what is really tea? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Yeah, and you guys feel free to leave me your opinions, your observations down below. What do you guys think about the situation? Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you gagged? Are you gooped? Like, please let me know. And yeah, let's go look on for what I see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so in the middle section, I always try to make the girls in the middle section because it's like, okay, girls first. So Blake Lively, she was born August 25th, 1987, and he was born January 24th, 1984, evil Aquarius. So she is a Virgo sun. She has this nasty old stellium in Virgo right here. Um, she has this Virgo stellium in, it's going through her first house and her second house cusp. So my sis is very self-identified. My sis is very self-actualized. My sis is, she is going to make sure that she is good first, right? She is very self-oriented, and on fact, on the top of that, she's a Leo rising. Like, stop. She's a Leo rising, and she's a Virgo sun and ruled by her Mercury in Virgo. So these are mutual receptions. So, and it's so interesting, I love when I see people with like a Mercury sun conjunction, especially in a mutable sign, immutable mercurial energy. Like, this is like the tall tale sign of like somebody that's an artist, a visionary, somebody that utilizes their speech, very self-identified with their thoughts, their act, the way that they communicate is very, very much indicative and very heavily intertwined with who they are as a person. I mean, but she got her sun conjoined to her Mars. Like, she could be a very, very domineering person, even though that she has this like veil of like, her Venus MC, right? MC is our public perception, it's our image, but it's in cute little Taurus. It's, her MC is ruled by Venus. Like, her public perception is like, she's just this beautiful, harmonious, you know what I'm saying? Like, nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, this beautiful harmony is just like earth goddess, and with her Venus is in Virgo as well. So, her MC is like, the way that she's contrived is by all this Virgo. Like, it's very, very, like, it's a pressure cooker. It's very, very like, Virgo oftentimes gets the rap of like being the perfectionist, right? Because they have the ability to, fine tune all the bells and the whistles and everything, like be the thing that people want to see, right? But that comes with a price. um you know Having this perfectionist mindset can ultimately lead to very, very high expectations, right? And if you do not rise to these unforeseen these unforeseen, unexplainable expectations of yourself that you have and people expect of that of you, and you break that veneer, right? People are going to be like, "Oh girl, like, you're fake, like, you're dumb," like, and Blake Lively definitely has a reputation of just like being like, that, and it's just like, I've been doing a lot of research on cults. I want to continue my research on cults, but I was looking at a TikTok from this lady on TikTok. Y'all should follow her. She's the knitting cult lady, and she always talks about how within the cult there always has to be like a white skinny lady to reinforce the cult leader's message, right? Because the white skinny lady, she's easy to look at. She is she's more able to be controlled. She's looked at as kind and soft and veneer. So when she um explains the different protocols and different missions that this person is trying to carry out, it comes off as softer, not as, domineering. And with her and her relationship with Ryan, it's like she is that spokeswoman. Like, if you look at, you know, the figureheads, the authority leaders in figure, there's always a woman that is willing to stand by for the cause, right? She is willing to perform her duty of white femininity for the cause. And for her, it's like her and Ryan are just like this united front for quote unquote perfectionism, white perfectionism, right? Like we have the house, we have these businesses, like everything is done in this like very concise, contrived way that makes you, oh my God, they're so perfect. They're so perfect. And it's just like, no one's perfect, babe. Like it's a pressure cooker for a reason. Eventually things just pop. And this veneer, um, it's coming at Ryan hard. I mean, Ryan, it's coming at Blake hard. I mean, the fact that the North Node, right? The North Node has just entered Pisces. So the South Node is going to be passing all throughout her first and her second house. It's going to be shifting her value system. It's going to be, with the South Node here, that's like an area where we are comfortable with, an area where we have completed certain spiritual goals that we are supposed to move forward into with our North Node. But the South Node, it's almost like a reflection period. So if you are reflecting on areas around the self, around values, in like moments that come up will then make you reflect on past experiences so that you can move through them. But the South Node on her sun, there's going to be a lot of reflection of who she is. There's going to be a lot of reflection of her motivation at Mars, a lot of reflection of what she values in her partnerships, right? With Venus and Virgo on that cusp of the second house. And even her moon there, right? The business, the family business that she has built up under this veil of perfection. Now we're going to be reflecting and rewiring and retracing um that area. So it's going to be interesting for sure. So what the heck? Sorry. um oh, look at that, y'all. Look at that. She has her North Node in Pisces and her South Node in Pisces. Dang, she's having her nodal return in her South. The South Node is going to be all up on there. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the fact that, she's a Leo rising, so Leo was in her first house, so automatically this makes her seventh house, her partnerships, her one-on-one relationships, her business partners is going to be in Aquarius. And look at that, there is Justin Baldoni's son. um yeah, and she has Aquarius in her seventh and sixth house cusp, but his son is on that, close to her descendant, right? And when we have a interesting when we have a relationship with somebody and we have the personal placement on that descendant, they're going to feel like, or they're going to be a representative of an ideal partner for you, right? Because the seventh house is like the energy that we are attracted to, the energy that we call into our sphere. That's our partnerships, our relationships. Like, she can just have this an affinity for, very complex, eccentric people, right? Naturally. But I mean, Ryan, he doesn't really give that. He doesn't really give like eccentric. Like maybe he gives like quirky. He gives like quirky down, but even that, it just doesn't. It's like, I don't know. But even the fact that like this is his son is in her sixth house cusp. They met at work, right? Um, his son is square her Jupiter. Yeah, his son is square her Jupiter, close to her MC. Mm. Mm. And his son is square her Pluto. They have yeah. Mm. Let me see. But one thing that's really interesting too, you see that little Lilith right in her seventh house in Pisces? He's gonna destroy her connections. Because Lilith in our chart is where we want freedom. right? Lilith doesn't want to be contained. Lilith doesn't want to be controlled. Lilith wants to be free. And with his Lilith in her seventh house, this could look like wanting to be free with different partnerships. Like this could even look like, okay, this could even look like him planting certain seeds in her mind as it pertains to like the sort of direction she wants to move forward with her creative endeavors. And the reason why I say that is because like look at, okay, already she has like the stellium in the fifth house. If this is like the creative house, this is the Leo house, this is the house of self-expression, right? Um they got a fifth house Venus synastry. His Venus in Sagittarius is in her fifth house. Y'all. Y'all. They had a little connection, a little connection. Okay. I'm not gonna say that the claims that she's making against him aren't true because we haven't, right, like we're still in, like we're in the court of public opinion right now, like they're just going at each other's reputations, right? But when the documents are released, then we will really see what happened. But I'm like, what if they fell in love and it's causing some issues? And we know that Blake stated that Ryan is very involved. They're both very involved in each other's projects, each other's work, right? But when you are in like a codependent relationship like that, eventually you're gonna be like, all right, I need some space, nigga. Like, no. But with Ryan being a Scorpio, and he got, ooh, his son is his Scorpio energy is on her fourth house, like really controlling the home. Like, where can you go if we're in tandem together at work and you're in control of like the house, the finances, all these things? Where can you go to just be, right? And Justin got his Saturn there in the fourth house, causing some issues at home, restriction at home. Saturn is restriction, it's karma, it's hard lessons in the fourth house. I mean, naturally, but this is the thing about Blake. She has Pluto right on her IC. She could already come from and be conditioned to thrive in like in a very controlled setting. And I feel like she just wants more freedom. She wants more freedom to be herself and to do the things that she wants to do outside of like, the family unit, the foundation that she was bred into. Um and then Justin got that Scorpio Mars on her fourth and like right on her IC. He's causing some tension, causing a little bit of friction, a little bit of, Mars pokes. Mars is like aggression, it's aggravation, it's dedication, it's angst, it's anger, it's, sexuality. Like, wait, let me just look really quick. Mars is I mean, even Justin, he has his moon in Libra, but he has an outer sign conjunction with his moon and his Pluto. Like he can already even be like somebody that's very controlling in the home, right? And it's almost like, Blake wants to find her voice and find her freedom through these projects that she does, right? Uranus is, it's unconventionality, right? Unconventionality in the fifth house. That's like even I feel like she should like take up doing like indie movies or something. Like get out of like beautification, the perfection, get into like the gutter, get a little ugly, like get into some films that depict like real life. Like I feel like that will really, really be satisfying for her. But she has Saturn here too. It's like her the way that she expresses her fun is through work. But then you see there's Uranus right on her Saturn in this 4th house, 5th house cusp. Like, I feel like with Justin's influence, like, I feel like she could definitely learn a lot from him that she may not have learned with her husband. Mm. Yeah, I mean, there's his Uranus is squaring her moon in Virgo. I think that he would give her a lot of ideas, like different travel ideas, different opportunities, like different spiritual philosophies that will just like kind of she'll bring home, and it causes some frustration in the home. It's like, oh, he told you that? Well, you should listen to him. Like, it's just my sis is controlled. Okay, but one thing that's really interesting is that his Chiron in Taurus, it's not super close to her MC, but it's in her 10th house, right? The wounded healer in her 10th house, like he could really damper her reputation, damper her public perception, her public image. Oh my god, stop. But then, I mean, he has this north node in her 10th house too. It's like in some way, ruled by Mercury. Where's his Mercury? In Capricorn. They all just have issues with control and trying to give up control. But like, no one is gonna willy nilly like, oh, here you go. Like these people have fought for it. These people have fought for their positions where they are in life, right? Like you're not gonna want to give up control. Control is taken, and I think especially for Justin, he's learning a lot of lessons, his soul evolution around like communication with control. I feel like he could even remind her of aspects of Ryan, but also very different from Ryan. Because even like he has this he has Mercury in Capricorn, like Jupiter in Capricorn, like and he's an Aquarius sun, like these heavy Saturnian placements. Like he's about his business, like he's about his bag. Like he can be very cold and callous in some ways. But wait a second. Yo, he has Jupiter in her 5th house. When natally she has Jupiter retrograde close to that MC. So like marriage is like a performance for her. Marriage is very akin to like the way that she's perceived, her public reputation, like her image. Um, but Jupiter retrograde, that can indicate like because Jupiter in a woman's chart that represents the husband, right? It's retrograde. So there could be some like maybe not the most happy relationship because it's all about stability. It's all about right, put like material possessions. Like it's Taurus. Taurus is all about, you know, satisfying himself through stability, through luxury, right? But with Jupiter in her 5th house, that it's giving husband material. And I mean, like, even in the project, like, that was her husband, and it's in the 5th house of, like, you know, creative projects. Like, you birth these projects, like, these are your children, right? conjoined to Venus. Oh, these benefics in her fifth house. Like this could even look like a great aspect for like a collaborator. But this is the house of romance. This is the house of children. Like, and Mercury is there too. I mean, Neptune is there too. So like, this because movies are fantasy, right? Movies aren't real life. They're based off of real life, and life imitates art. But in some way, there's like a fantastical element of that. Um, but conjoined Venus mm, in her fifth house. Like, no shade. She could have just like got caught up in the fantasy and been like, oh shit, like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? This is just my observation. I'm sure that there's going to be more information that comes out as it pertains to these civil suits. I just feel like they'll both just like it's just really giving me like okay, it's not the same situation, but it's just giving me a lot of like Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, and I was gonna look into their Synastry, but I was just like, whatever, we'll see. It's just giving me like the battle of the strained reputation, right? And the fact that you know Justin chose to countersue and sue for defamation, including her husband, it's just like, yeah, I mean, I know he made claims that both Blake and Ryan were both collectively trying to destroy him. Um, it's just messy. It's messy as fuck. It's messy as fuck. But like she low key like cut a vibe, baby. What you do for the night? Like, like, are you serious? Sun trine Venus, Mercury trine. Okay, y'all. Y'all. That's it for me. What do y'all think about this? This is messy. This is messy as frick. Tell me if I'm like completely off. If you're like, girl, you're wrong. Oh my gosh. But like, tell me what you guys think because it's messy, and we will definitely keep up the updates as as the suit goes along. Okay. Yeah, let me know, y'all. This is crazy. This is definitely crazy. Yes. And as always, if you want your own personal birth chart reading or synastry reading between you and your boo, let me know. The link will be down in my comments or in my bio down below, you guys. All right, have a great rest of your day. Bye.